Oh, so I am Storybox, and this video is going to be, well, my first audio story, technically, thing. Out. I don't really know what. This is kind of awkward and embarrassing. It's my first time, but whatever. Um, it's going to be, I don't know what exactly to call it, but as you may have already been reading some of the text that you see on the screen, it's going to be a fan story that I am making on My Hero Academia. It's going to have a femdeku she's going to end up getting isekai to a fantasy world. Though I guess I should explain how exactly it works here, because it's not exactly, she doesn't die. She doesn't get reincarnated. There's kind of like a gate, there's a certain, somewhere in Japan, there are some ruins with, well, ruins in a cave. In Japan, they're in a cave. On the other side, they aren't in a cave. But, the, these ruins have a gateway that is, have a gateway that is connected to, well, the ruins in the fantasy world. The so yeah, uh, she's going to have spiant. Her quirk is going to be spiant empress. It basically, spiant is a creature that I made up that is a combination of a spider and an ant. Which I don't really like spiders, but I like spiders. It's what I mean is I don't like encountering spiders, but I do like spiders as a creature. They're very fascinating. Kind of the same with ants. I don't like encountering them, but theoretically I absolutely love ants. I'm kind of obsessed a little with ants, but whatever. Basically, she can do anything a spider or ant can do, and so the things she can do are she can lay eggs worker she can from which eggs can hatch into workers, soldiers, majors, super majors, and queens. Which, if anyone who's watching this knows a bit of no actually knows some more about ants than average knows, queen ants aren't actually queens. They're egg layers. That is literally their job in the colony. All the other decisions are made by the workers. But this is a spiant, not an ant. And here, the spiant empress is the one at the top. And the queens are, their purpose is just to lay eggs still. But yeah, the spiant empress does do more things. She can also create webs, venom, which poison and venom are different. Poison needs to be ingested, so through the mouth, while venom can be injected, needs to be put in through the skin. That's something a lot of people mistake, but whatever. Also, that's actually a lot of ants have venom. Yeah, and also a very special skill for the spy ant is the evolution skill. An empress can make the horde brood. I think the word for an ants is brood. I should probably correct it later. It can make them evolve to overcome certain conditions. For example, if they're in a very hazardous environment, like let's say uh, a volcano side, let's say that, it can over time, though, because it's a bit more video game esque, more quickly though. It'll take a bit of time and some doing, but can make them evolve to actually be magma resistant, or well, technically it's heat resistant, but they're resistant to a point where but they can become heat resistant to a point where they're immune to magma or lava. Yeah, magma's underground, lava's above ground. Forget that often. Yeah. So, anyways, how about we start with the story? It happens when it all starts when Izumi, which is what she's going to be called, Izumi, she's born. She, yeah, basically that goes relatively normal. that part. She goes to the quirk doctor, but at the quirk doctor, it's yeah, like sorry. That's the quirk doctor says, yeah, sorry, kid, but you're never gonna become a hero. You're according to all these signs, you're quirkless. Either that or you're either that or you'll be a late bloomer. But the chance of being a late bloomer is extremely small. Though it's still there, I wouldn't count on it. That absolutely shattered Izumi's dreams. She wanted to be a hero, but now she's never gonna be a hero. Her her mother is going to be a kind mother and feel very bad for Izumi. Though One, though sadly she did die in a car accident a little while, a year or two later. That's when Izumi was placed in an orphanage, and that is when the fateful day came around when Bakugo, Katsuki, call him what you want, ended up, yeah, yeah, I think you can read it, you know what's about to happen. So they're sort of going to the forest. You know, like all the flashbacks of where uh where Deku and Kachan are in the woods playing. Yeah, it's then when it happens. He basically after Izumi tried to help Bakugo from him falling in the river. It he look he thought she was looking down at him, but she wasn't. A little later they came by, so he was very upset. But later and he didn't want her to continue following him and his friends. But a little later, then they come by a cave and they think, oh, this is a perfect opportunity to get rid of the useless quirkless yeah, I think you know what I mean with the letter B. So Izumi falls down. Is not the way down from the cave is pretty, so she's quite injured. But because of that, she has gained some momentum and ends up, well, flying through the gateway, right as ruins. And she ends up flying through the gateway and coming out of the other side of the gateway with some ruins in the fantasy world. Okay, so that you know, it's actually a kind of a smallish island. It's on the ruins. Well, I say smallish. It's for an island. It's actually relative. It's really big, but compared to some other island things like Australia, it's small. Yeah, compared to Australia, it's tiny. On a world map, you would be able to see it, but it would be like almost a dot, maybe a little bigger than a dot. With less, but yeah, the forest had no, not the forest. The island had some forests. It had yeah. What did it all have? She will discover later. Yeah, eventually she wakes up in well a forest and discovers that she well discovers that she's now well at first she thinks the cave she was pushed down simply led to a different part of the forest. So she she wanted to make her she started trying to make her way out of the forest, following the sun. Sorry for the pause there. I someone came back something. But anyways, where was I? Oh yeah, she was trying to follow the sun to find her way out of the forest because though she was quirkless, or well, said to be quirkless, she was still really smart. In fact, she might have been might have actually been a lot smarter than normal Deku. normal deco, and because of that, she was able to figure out what direction she needed to go into to make her way home from the forest. But yeah, after getting up, she realized, wait a minute, I rolled down a relatively steep cave floor. Why am I not injured? She found that it's strange, but figured that maybe there was just maybe just the floor of the cave was just surprisingly was maybe just very smooth, and at the bottom there was something that cushioned her fall or something. But yeah, though she pretty quickly, when she took an actual look at her surroundings, I said earlier she looked at the sun exactly. She looked at the sky, not at her surroundings yet. That was when she was still laying on her back on the ground. Yeah, now she's actually looking at her surroundings and sees that there's no cave anywhere near there. So she's getting a little confused and a bit panicky. So again, she decides to still just play it safe and head into the direction the, the orphanage was in. But it's once she got out of the forest, she realized I don't know where I am, but this ain't Japan. How did you know that? Simple. Yes, she saw some mountains in the distance on the other side of the forest. No, actually, no, never mind, never mind. She saw mountains in front of her. However, after she turned around, that's when she really realized she's not in Japan, because she saw that on distance on one of the other sides of the foot of the mountain, beyond the forest, there were those open plains. She couldn't see it very well, but she could see that that was open plains. No skyscrapers, no apartment buildings, no chimney smoke in the distance. So yeah, she realized I don't know where I am, but I ain't in Japan. But I ain't in Japan anymore. She decided to just go in the forest, collect some fruit, and then she decided to go into the forest to collect some fruit. After she realized she didn't really have a way to exactly collect the fruit, but she was able to carry some in her shirt. Like, you know that some people like sometimes fold the outside of their shirt a bit to hold stuff. Yeah, that's what she did. Then she went back to the mountain and found a relatively nice. She found a relatively small cave. It um the cave was not in the mountain, it was in the dirt, and it was kind of going away from the mountain back into the forest. Well, technically not in, but under the forest. But it was not that big. She didn't know how deep it was or how long it went, but it wasn't very wide. But she decided to stay there for a bit, to spend the night there because it was starting to get dark. And yeah, oh yeah, just for your information, the time of this world and the My Academia world runs parallel. The time, if for example 1 hour passes in this world, 1 hour passes in the My Academia world. It's not that there's a variation in time; it's the same. Anyways, when she finally fell asleep, because I mean she's got no bed, no mattress, no blanket, no pajamas, just her clothes that she had with her. It's no door to close. Yeah, so it was kind of hard for her to fall asleep. When she finally did fall asleep, because she was extremely exhausted. She was actually pretty exhausted from the moment she woke up, which I found strange, but yeah. But that's when in her mind she then suddenly was like in a mindscape. I'm sure that if you're watching this, you've probably seen more than what if you probably already know kind of what this mindscape thing is, mind space, mindscape, whatever. But that's when she hears a voice. Experience threshold reached. 1 XP point. Yes, she's gained 1 XP point. No, 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 never mind, never. Experience threshold reached 10 XP points because she had to survive that entire fall. Dude, that's that surviving that is impressive. I'm pretty sure anyone, if they could play like a virtual sim, well, a really extremely advanced virtual simulation where actually experience the things happening in the game, actually feel it, like more advanced in VR. Like if you experience that, I'm sure that then you'd be kind of upset if you survive that and don't get any XP. As a game, I think most gamers would find it kind of unfair, especially if there is fall damage in the game. Anyways, experience threshold reached 10 XP points. You have now how leveled up to level 1. No, no, no. Let's say oh, uh, let's say level 2. Huh? Level 2? Wait, what's going on? How? What's level? What? I'm very. So that's Izumi says. Even more. Where did the voice come from? Who are you? Where am I? And that's when Izumi hears the voice again. It says, "Calm down." No, 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 no. I thought for a moment to do more of a comedic photo. Actually, I might change that later. But for now, let's say it's more of a computer. Well, not. It doesn't sound like a computer, but the way it talks, like its voice is not that, but the way it talks. I am, I am great archive. Your the magical skill you were born with. A great archive. Just for your information, I'm sure you already read it, but it's basically Great Sage from the time of Garnia. Currently, it is a slime, except I renamed it because, yeah, and yeah, I renamed it. It has just stuff to do with my own original stories that have nothing to do with other actual stories, but whatever. So, where was I? Oh yeah. As for where you are currently inside of your own mind. What? I'm inside of my own mind? How does that work? And anyway, well, and never that I can explain it very easily by it is. Wait, no, that you didn't actually need to answer that question. I'm sure I'm very smart, but I'm sure that even I wouldn't understand. Okay, affirmative, affirmative. So where am I outside of my head? Where am I? You are on Dakota Island. Dakota Island. I've never heard of that. As for uh, as for your information, I literally just now came up with that name, Dakota Island. So I didn't do any looking up because it's completely original. This island, Dakota Island. I've never heard of that place. Affirmative. Dakota Island is in a parallel universe from yours. Dakota Island is an alternate universe from yours. Alternate universe? What? It's a it's a a alternate universe type. Oh, you don't have to go down into that much detail. I mean, multiple universes exist that by itself. So affirmative. There are approximately. Whoa, I don't. There are approximately. Oh no 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 no! I don't need to know that information. I don't need to know that information. That's a bit too much information. Affirmative. Plus, even more, I would, I am Great Archive, not neither God Archive nor Over Archive. I do not even have the information to know how many universes there are. Wait, there are more advanced versions of you? Affirmative. But okay, so how did I get here? Answer. Ruins. Gateway. What? In ancient times, there was a connection between your world and this island. It's how this island even got inhabited. People from your world built ancient magical ruins and passed through it to this side. An ancient gateway to pass through to this side. However, due to due to a very magical due to a magical accident, magical accident. It's when magical power overloads. When magical power is in a certain area too dense, magical apparatuses can fail. In fact, the chance of magical apparatus failing when it's a high magical density, when there's a too high magical density than the machine was built in, is very high. The gateway collapsed, but when it collapsed, the technology that was used to create it was already forgotten. So, local to the inhabitants at the time could not be built on either side of the gate. Anyways, how exactly can I get back? Calculating. Currently impossible. What? What do you mean impossible? The gateway was constructed on the other side. It was not constructed on this side. It was constructed on the other side. The gateway on this side is still intact. The magical accident happened on the other side of the gate. Therefore, this side is still intact. Though the buildings around the gateway have fallen to ruin, which is what caused the ruins around the gateway. Wait a minute. If I ended up here, but the gateway's closed, how did I end up here? Calculating. Answer located. You had sufficient magical energy to temporarily activate the gateway. I did. Error. Wrong. Error. Error. Recalculating. Recalculating. What do you mean? Correct answer located. It is that you have the potential to have enough magical energy to activate a gate with ease without even needing to do anything really, just by being near it. However, the time was another magical density event that happened, and well, temporarily reactivated the gate. Coincidentally, right before you fell asleep. Wait a minute. I like my quirk. Incorrect. I am your magical skill. Great archive, not your quirk. Then what is my quirk? Quirk of individual Izumi Midoriya. Quirk. Spiant Empress. Spiant Empress? What even the heck is a spiant? Calculating. Best suitable answer would be a combination of ant and spider into one species. One species, huh? Affirmative. Wait a minute, spiant empress? Does you mean like like an ant queen? Incorrect. A spiant empress is above a queen, a spiant queen. Spiant among spiants, the hierarchy worked like this. There are workers, soldiers, mages, super mages, and queens. Above queens, empresses. Queen's role in the spiant colony is only to lay eggs. That is literally their only role. It's usually also why at first a spiant empress will first lay eggs with workers, and then and after that, right after workers go to queens, and only after that, and then the queens will start with workers and then soldiers. And okay, you're going in a bit too much detail. You can't wait to tell me your things once I'm ready for that or something. Seeing my book is called Spiant Empress. Wait a minute. Does it mean I can lay eggs? Affirmative. I can lay eggs. I'm going to lay eggs eventually, aren't I? Affirmative. Once individual well, is once individual Izumi Midoriya. Wait, aren't you my magical skill? Not like others? Affirmative. Others can also have this skill, but it won't be specifically me. It will be the same skill, but not me. Can't you then just refer to me as mistress or something like that? Affirmative. Individual mistress Izumi will evolve to spine will evolve to Spined Empress, to a new Spined Empress form once she reaches level 10. Level 10? Yes. Affirmative. Level 10.